G'day everyone and welcome back to Offshore in Asia. Today I'm in one of the most dynamic business hubs on the planet, no other than Hong Kong. We're going to be diving into why Hong Kong can be a great place to incorporate, especially for digital nomads and entrepreneurs based out here in Asia. Hong Kong consistently ranks as one of the top jurisdictions in the world for ease of doing business. You've got low taxes, a low regulatory environment, and it's an international business hub that everyone has heard of. But what does it actually mean for you as an entrepreneur doing business out here in Asia? Well, you've got reputation. Hong Kong has been a bit of a middleman between the East and the West for decades. Companies in the US and Europe and elsewhere are familiar with dealing with Hong Kong companies when doing business in Asia. If you're going to set up business or base yourself out in Asia, Hong Kong is one of the first places that will come to mind as a place to incorporate. That makes banking, invoicing and moving money across borders into Hong Kong a lot easier. English is widely spoken here. There is a legal system based on English common law, and these things make it very expat friendly. They do call it the international city of Asia, and there are people here, working here, doing business here from all around the world. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about tax, because that is one of the big reasons why people come to do business in Hong Kong. Hong Kong has a territorial-based tax system. In simple terms, that means if you are not doing business directly in Hong Kong, if you don't have clients here, if you don't have physical operations here like an office or a warehouse, that can mean that you are potentially tax-free in Hong Kong. Now, for digital nomads who are able to move around and entrepreneurs in general who are doing business out in this part of the region, well, it doesn't even have to be in Asia, to be honest. You can use Hong Kong as a place to do business. Even if you're not in Asia, you could be in Europe or traveling around as a nomad. But for these kinds of business owners, having that opportunity to operate out of a internationally respected but also a territorial-based taxation system, that can have massive advantages and really knock down your tax bill. So that is not too hard to achieve, that part, to be registered in Hong Kong but not have any physical operations here. So in that case, you can be tax-free in Hong Kong. But what does that mean? All right, you might be tax-free in Hong Kong, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are tax-free in the country where you are a tax resident. That is the other side of the coin that you have to look at. It is possible to bring your tax right down, but you have to look at the country that you are living in and the tax rules for the country you are living in. Aside from that, back to Hong Kong, even if you are paying tax here, if you have physical operations here, if you want to set up a warehouse to perhaps import, export out of China, something like that, the first 2 million Hong Kong dollars has a tax rate of just 8.25%. After that, it goes up to 16.5%. That's still a hell of a lot better than you're getting in a place like Australia, where big corporates are on 30% and the smaller companies are paying 25%. On top of that, there is no VAT, there is no capital gains tax, so you can exit out of stocks, businesses quite effectively without having a tax bill. And there is no tax on dividends as well. So it's very easy to pay yourself out of your Hong Kong company while keeping your tax basement low. So who is a Hong Kong company good for? Well, Hong Kong companies can work for quite well for a wide range of businesses. If you're in e-commerce, if you're in software, if you're a freelancer, if you're a consultant, and many more things. It really is very broad. You can then set up here out of Hong Kong, run a very lean and efficient operation. It's quite cheap to run a Hong Kong company compared to other parts of the world, like in the Emirates, for example. The ongoing reporting requirements are quite manageable, and you're going to have help right along the way from beginning to end and ongoing. So It is not too much of an administrative burden. In general, as far as offshore jurisdictions go, Hong Kong is quite easy to run. Incorporation process is very straightforward as well, and it can be done very quickly. You can be up and running within a week without even setting foot in Hong Kong. It can be done entirely remotely. And we can help you with the full process as well. That said, I highly do recommend taking a visit out to Hong Kong. It is a fascinating city. It is very exciting, very vibrant. There's a ton of action going on here. It really is an interesting place to visit. So let's talk a bit about banking, because there is no point having a whiz-bang offshore company if you can't send and receive money. The good news is you have several options when you're setting up a Hong Kong bank account. It is true to say that it is getting harder to open up bank accounts with the traditional bank providers like HSBC, Standard Chartered, and so on, but it is still very doable. You just have to go through the KYC process, show your documentation, verify your identity and your location, etc. And it also usually involves taking a trip out to Hong Kong to do a face-to-face interview with the banking staff to sign off on your account opening. But all very doable, provided you're willing to go through that process. That all said, these days there are a lot more options with all the fintech operators that are in play now. A lot of digital nomads and consultants and people who are wanting just a really lean setup and don't necessarily want to go through an overly prolonged KYC process are opting instead to simply use these fintech providers. Now, depending on which way you want to go, whether you want a fintech operator or a traditional bank or a bit of a combination of both, Offshore in Asia, we can help you do all of this stuff. We're also going to be putting out more information in regards to banking out here in Hong Kong and how to get the most efficient, reliable and workable banking solution for your business. So, should you incorporate in Hong Kong? Well, if you're looking for a credible international business hub, the answer can be yes. If you're looking for an offshore business centre that is well known and has an established track record, yes. If you're looking for low regulation, low red tape, ease of doing business, all that stuff that is very important, the answer can be yes. And if you're looking for low taxation, the answer can be definitely yes. It's worth noting as well that Hong Kong does have some pretty decent tax treaties with neighbouring countries as well that enable you or give you a lot of flexibility in the way you're going to bring money out of your company into your personal pocket while keeping your tax liability low. So here at Offshore in Asia, we do of course set up companies out in Hong Kong as well as other jurisdictions like Singapore, Labuan in Malaysia, Malaysian mainland companies and Thai companies, all kinds of stuff out in the region. If you're interested in getting a Hong Kong company set up for your business and you want to work with an operator who's going to see you through to the end, who isn't just going to sell you the company and then disappear and then leave you not knowing how to run it, we'll help you get right into it. So by the time you've sent off your first invoice and your money comes into your bank account, you're going to see for real that this structure actually works. On top of that, if you need assistance with taxation, dealing with accountants in Hong Kong, dealing with accountants back in your home jurisdiction, tax planning around that, around the really good flexibility that comes with Hong Kong companies so that you can strategically get your money out of the company without having a big tax bill, potentially very low tax indeed. We can help you to do these things as well. If you're looking for a bit of a deeper strategic session about how you can do all kinds of things in Asia, set up your life, set up your business, set up your investments in a way that is not only tax efficient but is getting you good returns and isn't a headache to run, head over to offshoreinasia.com, drop us a contact form. You can also book in a consult call there if you want to have a one-on-one confidential discussion about your offshore plans and what can be done to improve your business and investing and taxation situation. We're out here in Hong Kong for the next few days. We're going to be doing a series of interviews around opening up personal bank accounts for an offshore expat banking solution. We're going to do a bit more information on banking for businesses because that is very important. And we're going to show you as well how you can invest out here, get access to markets that you can't get access to on most Western brokerages, and pay a lot less tax on your investments as well.